take the cash offer because, you know, securing the deal and knowing that they can close is very, very important with these type of deals, because you don't want the deal falling apart because maybe they were using a mortgage, but they were a weak borrower and they decided to get a new credit card between the time that they did the pre-approval and then now the time it's ready to close, and now you're just in a really bad situation, right? So you do want to move on these deals just as fast as you do your traditional wholesale deals. And one thing I didn't say early on, but I'll say now, is I like, in my terms on my purchase agreement that I have with the seller, I like to put a 60-day close window in there versus like a traditional 30, just to have more time for the mortgage appraisal and those other items that you're going to have to go through with a traditional buyer. Okay. And then such things as contingencies. I'll tell you the biggest issues you can run into is in cities that require certification of occupancy and where the end buyer wants the CO prior to closing, or at least a temporary CO prior to closing. I'll tell you, I ran into that issue with this Westland property where I'm buying the property on the A to B without a C of O, but the buyer's agent she was good. She was a good agent. She demanded that I had a temporary C of O before closing. So I had to kind of run around and do a couple different things and have the inspection done and all that kind of stuff. So just be aware of those types of contingencies. Obviously, your traditional inspection contingency. If somebody's coming in with no inspection contingency, that's great. And then EMD, I should have listed EMD on here too. You know, how big is the EMD? You know, is it just a traditional $1,000, or are they putting $5,000 down? All those types of things strengthen, you know, the offer from the buyer side. And, you know, you're going to get a lot of you maybe haven't done deals like this where you're dealing with a buyer that has a pre-approval letter that they're approved to get financing to buy a property up to a certain value, because you're most of the time dealing with cash buyers on your traditional deals. But it's normal, and Maureen, you tell me if I'm wrong, it's normal for a listing agent to actually call the buyer, their mortgage lender, to confirm the information that's on that pre-approval letter, just to make sure it wasn't falsified or anything like that. Maureen, you counter if I'm wrong by doing that. Oh, I don't know if you can hear me or not. But anyway, so I like to do that, at least talk to the mortgage lender to make sure that, you know, that pre-approval is legitimate and everything that's sound as far as the quality of buyer for the property. All right. So moving on. So I just want to go over all the paperwork and how to administer the double closing that you're going to have to do to get paid and to get these deals sold. So obviously you have the A to B purchase agreement. I use my traditional wholesale purchase agreement. If you want a copy of the purchase agreement that I use, just email me and I'll send it to you. It's in a Google Doc that you can edit and use. In there, it's your traditional wholesale agreement that allows me to assign the contract and things like that. Most sellers are going to accept that purchase agreement without question, without issue. But if some of them are a little more savvy, or maybe they were previously a real estate agent, they'll want like a GMAR, like a traditional purchase agreement, which I'll use. And sometimes, you know, I always go in with these purchase agreements with no EMD. Sometimes people want EMD, so I'll have to put EMDs down. It just depends, right, on the seller. Once you have the A to B purchase agreement, right, we're going to market this property out to the potential buyers. We're going to show the property. And then once we have a legitimate buyer, somebody that is willing to provide an offer, they're going to issue a purchase agreement to you for the B to C transaction. So in my world, I buy properties under the Helm REI LLC. So I have a purchase agreement with the A to B. Seller A is selling the property to Helm REI LLC. And then the B to C, I have a separate purchase agreement over here where Helm REI LLC is now selling this property to seller or to buyer C. Okay, that's how those purchase agreements are set up. And then what you're going to do is once you have both purchase agreements executed, you're going to order title and send both the purchase agreement and the contact information for the buyer's agent to the title company. It is very important to use the same title company for both the A to B and B to C transaction. It's very difficult to execute these double closings on the same day or same week if you don't do it that way. So I would highly suggest that you use a single title company. And lots of times the buyer's agent may try to sway you to use some other title company. And that's okay as long as they are familiar with doing double closings. Because one thing I should have said earlier, and I'll say now, I am very open with the buyer's agent. They know everything that's going on. They know my position in the deal, as far as they know I have it under contract. So, you know, just like anything with wholesaling, any part of wholesaling is just being honest and open about what you're doing is going to set you up for success and trying to not be that way. So, but again, using one title company is going to make your life a lot easier. I prefer Speedy Title. There's other title companies out there too that are that do a lot of double closings and are familiar with these type of transactions. Okay. Just like I said before you lock up deals, it's probably smart to get some real estate agent emails and get some networking going with real estate agents that are working with buyers trying to find retail properties. Same applies to transactional funds. It's good to have somebody in your phone that you can call and say, hey, I'm ready now, I got this deal. So you're going to want to go out and try to make some relationships with transactional lenders. And if you email me, I'll share with you a few that I recommend so that you're set up to do these transactions once you have the deal. And like I said earlier, usually it's about a 2% fee on the transactional funding. Okay? And then once, and just to walk you through the process in case you haven't done a retail transaction with a buyer using a conventional mortgage, once the purchase agreements are executed, both purchase agreements, then the mortgage company is going to request an appraisal to be done. So they'll come out to the house and do an appraisal. And as long as the home appraised, then nothing else will have to be adjusted as far as the purchase prices go. And then you're eventually going to get the clear to close. Okay, and that's a 3 to 4 week process. So one thing is you just want to stay in contact with the buyer's agent, checking in once or twice a week on what's going on with the clear to close, where are we at, if we ordered the appraisal, okay, the appraisal happened, have we gotten the appraisal back? You just kind of want to keep pushing them, you know, and trying to get to the closing table as fast as you possibly can. And then what you want to do is schedule closing on the same day. And I learned this just recently, that actually you want to conduct the B to C transaction first, then the A to B transaction second. I thought it was the other way around, but actually you want to make sure that that end buyer comes to the closing table and closes before you purchase the property. Otherwise, you could be left holding the bag, right? So that's the way you want to set up the closing between those two different transactions. Okay. Sounds like somebody is not on mute, but that's okay. All right, so what I have here too in the end, I just want to kind of walk through is I use a lot of different tools and resources, and I've showed you a few of those different types of tools. So I put in a lot of links here just to give you some information about just about some different things that you can utilize or check out or help you out with your real estate investing business. First of all, if you want a free trial of PropStream for 7 days to evaluate the tool, it's what I use primarily to pull my list, to evaluate comparable properties, and to do what I just did there earlier and pull up real estate agent emails. They have a phone app as well as a, you can use it on your computer. So it's really cool. You can use it on both your phone. Here, it does cost I don't remember what the cost is, but there is a cost per month to have that. I just don't remember. I mentioned earlier my YouTube channel, I have probably 50 videos, how-to videos, all different types of things, how to run numbers on real estate investing deals. So you can check out my YouTube channel here.
Hey, Jeff.
Yeah.
Hang on one second. Can whoever's got their TV on, can they please mute themselves? It's affecting everybody's ability to listen.
This data can be used by foreign actors to attempt.
Hey, Carl, can you mute your system there, because I see you're not muted. Can you mute that?
So chaos.
Press your mute button.
We have already seen Iran sending emails.
The TV's so loud you can't hear you. No.
Unrest and damage President Trump. You may have seen some reporting on this in the last 24 hours, or you may have even been one of the recipients of those emails. Additionally, Iran is distributing other content to include a video that implies that individuals could cast fraudulent ballots, even from overseas. This video and any claims
Yeah, I was just thinking of that. Maureen, do you want to mute everybody? Or okay. Can you still hear me?
There we go. Yeah. Yep,
okay.
You're all set.
Okay. All right. Thanks. Sorry. Yeah, I apologize about that. So, just so you guys know, if you want to check out my YouTube channel, you can click here. There's a lot of different how-to videos with some funny thumbnails about real estate investing. So there's a lot of different stuff in there you can check out and educate yourself about. If you want to connect with me on Facebook, I have my link here. I do have a coaching program. This is not the correct link, but I will fix that before you get a copy of this presentation. If you do want to work with me, I do one-on-one coaching, and that's really, you know, it depends on where you're at in your journey of real estate investing, but it's, you know, setting up systems and consistent marketing and how to present multiple offers and do deals. This is one aspect of that, right? These types of deals. So I'll correct that link as well. And then also I just released a phone app. It's called the Helm Investor Calculator. There's 2 links here where you can download it for free in the Apple Store or the Google Play Store. And I have a video here.
Hey guys, Jeff Helm with the Helm app. So I wanted to just figure out
on exactly how the app works, what it does. But in short, that app runs offers 8 different ways. So you can present 8 offers to your sellers. It generates a letter of intent. And after you've ran deals 8 different ways, you can pick 3 of those and email them a letter of intent. So for example, I do a lot of all cash wholesale offer. I'll give them a lease option, maybe like a sandwich lease option, and then a land contract offer. And you know, a lot of those land contract offers you have the ability to wholesale them to investor buyers, people that keep buy and hold rentals, for example. So it's a really cool tool, just released it, and you can check that out as well. And that is all that I had, unless there's some additional questions. No question.
If anybody has any questions, now's the Q&A. You can go ahead and unmute yourself and just speak out and ask Jeff what you'd like to know so he can walk you through the process if you need any assistance.
So Jeff, if I'm a brand new investor and I've just got my real estate license and I'm completely overwhelmed with what you just said, would you still take me on as a coach and help walk me through this process?
Yeah, I most definitely would. And that's where the coaching program comes in, because I went through that really quickly. And any real estate deal, any wholesale deal, there's lots of different moving parts, and there's lots of unique circumstances that are dealt with on a case-by-case basis. So yeah, I would definitely take you on though. I mean, I'll give you an example. When you have a tenant-occupied property, how do you handle that? You know, and still do these transactions. And that's where the coaching and the mentorship comes in when you're trying to do these types of deals.
So it also, like if I'm an investor and I'm out there looking and finding a deal, and I've got something that I think qualifies for exactly what you're doing here, could I bring that deal to you and then structure a deal where I would win inside that? Yeah,
most definitely. I mean, I partner with people all the time with joint ventures, so on a case-by-case basis. So if there's ever something where you think, hey, they're giving up 15 to 20%, it's not fitting my traditional maximum acceptable offer from a wholesale deal, reach out to me and email me. I can help you and analyze it and see if we can still both make money and get that sold under a structure like this. So, yep, definitely.
Yeah. So I'm going to speak for myself for a second. Like I'm a lead generator, and I work with all kinds of guys that go out to put wholesale deals together and then sell the property actually to another investor. And this is like hands down incredible for what I do, because now I have an opportunity to like partner with you and find stuff. So, and I think if I was a real estate agent, this is an incredible opportunity for me to work and put stuff together. You could actually even partner with some of the people that are the lead generators. But I'm sure in your course, you're going to work with people too on how to find the deals.
Got another question here that pertains to this kind of, like you said, Mark. So Mike's asking, as an investor, do you recommend getting your real estate license, Jeff? What would you say to that?
I do. I think, there's pros and cons of having your license, but I think there's definitely more pros. And just, your ability to get some data out of the MLS is really nice. PropStream is a very good tool and has lots of information, pretty much all the information that's in the MLS, but it's good to have that. It's also good to be able to refer listings or do your own listings. I think that's the biggest benefit of having your license, because you technically can't even get a referral fee unless you have your real estate license if you give that listing to another realtor to do that listing for you. But I would suggest if you're starting off and really hungry for business, take those listings. If people aren't willing to sell at a discount, but they like you, you come off as professional, which that's how you should be. If you offer to list a property, and you'll get lots of commission fees that way.
I was going to say, yeah, because Jeff, here's what happens, right? So let's say you come across a deal that, you just can't come to terms of what amount that they need and what amount you're willing to pay. But they say to you, well, you have a real estate license. Would you be willing to list and sell my property? Because clearly you have seen it and you think it's worth the purchase. Is that a listing that you would take? And then this would be additional business for you and an income stream as well?
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah, I got to jump in. It's hands down. You got to have it if you want to make real money, because I hold my real estate license just like I do the wholesale. It generates me, like what Maureen and Jeff are talking about. I get referral fees, and I've gotten as high as 50% referral fee from the realtor that I've given it to, which is not bad.
Well, especially that's your other side business is, where you're a lead generator, Mark, correct? Yeah. So you generate leads because you come across deals all the time. People are always calling you. When you're in the business, people are always reaching out to you. They find out who's in the business and they reach out to them, as you or Todd call it, and even Jeff, the do not wanters, right? The folks who don't want the property. They just want to be rid of it.
Exactly.
So then they're reaching out to you guys. Well, then when you're, so you come across these leads all the time, and it's just like you said, it's a perfect way of, structuring a business so that it's all full service, not just
Yeah.
investing, but a full service real estate business.
So yeah,
and
I'm sorry.
oh,
When
go ahead, Mark.
I want my lead to go to somebody like Jeff, or well, I'm not going to say the other names, but all the people I'm sending them to have a real estate license, and they already know that if you're not going to be able to get the deal put together, then they need to get it listed. And if they presented themselves properly, that's going to happen. So it's you're missing dollars if you don't have a real estate license. That's what I want to say.
Yeah. And then, I resisted to get a real estate license. I think I was doing this for about 2.5 years, and I finally got it. And I had my license for 2.5 years, let's say, something like that. But because I have my real estate license, now I've partnered with a broker to do some property management. I don't have my broker's license, but we're doing some property management through an LLC, and then as you get yourself out there as a real estate professional, maybe you find some buyer clients that are in the commercial properties or bigger transactions, and now you can represent them as a buyer's agent on very big deals that pay out a lot. So that's why I think having your license is such a strength. And if you've never done any real estate, the best way to learn the lingo, the terminology, what title work means, what liens are, all that kind of stuff, is to go through the real estate school, and you'll learn all of that. And that's a good way to get a lot of knowledge and come off as an expert to a seller as well. So.
Any other questions?
There's no.
Jeff, did you provide your contact information and your
I know I should.
your website there where you're, yeah, okay, there we go.
I should put this
So
out.
if anybody's looking for the transactional funding, contact information, or you want more information from Jeff, to talk to him about, deals and or his coaching, here is his contact information. His email is Jeff, Jeff, at investwithjeff.co. No M, CO. I've made that mistake. No M.
I know. I couldn't get the .com URL and just drives me crazy. I should have picked a different domain. Damn it. I've missed a lot of emails not having a .com and having a .co, I'll tell you that. So.
Yeah, it's too bad you can't do a directional, a redirect, right?
I know. I maybe I should figure that out. But and then I'll fix this one link, and then we'll get this presentation out to everybody as well, so they have it.
Yeah, if you're on, we'll send it to you. So.
Yeah.
And yeah, I really appreciate you doing this. I know my partner's signing up for your course, and yeah, looking forward.
Yeah, it's great. You told me that. Yeah, I appreciate that. So that sounds good, and I look forward to working with them, with Chris.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you very much. And then somebody will need to render this and send it to me, so I'll get this up on our site too, so people.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and take the recording and we'll get that over. Now,